morning, everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful morning. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. If that's not your first time here, then hi, well, welcome back. If you are into all things makeup, trying out new makeups, collabs, talking about eyeshadow palettes, favorites and fails, everything makeup related, then definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to be notified of all my future uploads, and let's get into a really exciting video. In today's video, you are getting a 2-for-1. Who doesn't love 2 for the price of 1, right? I do. So in today's video is actually a collab. We are doing an anti-Valentine's Day collab. I feel like a lot of people really love Valentine's Day, and I'm not one of those people. I do not care that much about Valentine's Day. In today's video, I am collabing with a bunch of wonderful people. I will link all of their channels down below. Definitely go check them out. And we're going to be doing looks using red, pink, black, all of them, one of them for a look. And we're going to be telling about some of our worst Valentine's Days that we have had. And trust me, I have had some. And then I'm also going to be using the Sydney Grace Be Mine eyeshadow palette to complete my look. So I just got this in the mail. I had done a poll on Instagram asking you guys which one you wanted to see first, either the New Colored Rain collection or this. The Colored Rain one won, but some of it arrived completely and totally shattered. So I'm waiting for a replacement. I was supposed to get the replacement today. The replacement's not going to come for a few more days. Got a little bit sidetracked. So I will get that and I will definitely put that. But I figured that using this palette, telling an anti-Valentine's Day story, while definitely doing something really dark and grunge, would be tons of fun. So if you are excited to see what look I create, what I think of this palette, as well as some of my worst Valentine's Day stories, then definitely keep on watching. All right, first off, let's start off with some swatches before we even like jump into the look. So let's start with this right here. First row, we have the shade Smooch. We have All Mine. We have Baby Cakes, Love Me, and last in this row is Romance. Moving on to the next row, we have Flirty, Soulmates, Darling, Pucker Up, and last for this row, Cupid. For the final row, we have Crush on You, Eye Candy, I Heart You, Smitten, and last is My Person. So here are all the swatches. Definitely beautiful. We've got some purples, we've got a little bit of some pinks, and we definitely have a black. So we're definitely going to be diving into that, playing with this palette, seeing what we come up with. So let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so we're definitely gonna make this a very smoky, pinky eye. And I have already primed my eyelids with my Ulta Beauty matte eye primer, literally my tried and true holy grail, best one out there. So let's go ahead, let's dive on in. So I'm gonna go into the shade right here. We're gonna start with Soulmates. I'm gonna take a little bit on my brush. This is a really fluffy brush. This is the BH Diffuse brush. And I'm just gonna start taking that into my crease and transition area. It definitely needs some building up. Not a huge deal. We're gonna go in with other colors, but let's go ahead and let's start talking about some of my worst Valentine's Day experiences. All right, number one, I don't really feel like I've ever been a huge fan of Valentine's Day. Actually, let me scoot you guys closer. Okay, we are now zoomed in. Okay, so I don't know that I've necessarily ever really been a huge fan of Valentine's Day. I personally think the concept is just like odd. Like I know there's like a history of like Valentine's Day and like things like that, but like basically it's just like to celebrate the person that you love and like spend money on them. And to me that's weird. Like I should be able to show you I love you every single day, and I don't need a day to tell me I love you, to tell me to tell you I love you and send you something. Like, and you would think that like Valentine's Day would be my day because my love language is gift giving. That has just always been my love language, is gift giving. I love getting gifts. I love giving gifts. I love sending people stuff. Like that's why I do so many giveaways to like give back to you guys, is because I am huge on like gift giving. So I know it's kind of weird, but That's just something that I'm really into. So, okay. So I would say in high school, this was like my senior year, I think. I had a boyfriend. We hadn't dated very long, like it wasn't super long at all. And so like Valentine's Day was like around the corner. Okay, first of all, I'm not even for sure why I dated this guy, like how this relationship even came about. But anyways, needless to say, it was Valentine's Day. We had like an assembly, I think, in the morning, where we all had to go to like the gym and like, you know, I can't remember what the assembly was about. Truthfully, it was just like really weird. Okay, but then a note was being like passed around and everybody was reading it to like figure out where it needed to go. So it was intended for me and it was from my boyfriend, and it was basically stating that he wanted to break up. Yeah. Broke up with me on Valentine's Day in the assembly by passing around a note that a good portion of people had read. Oh man, that was not a very good Valentine's Day. I will tell you that. I was crushed. Broke my heart. Whew. All right, now we're gonna move on to the shade right here called Darling, and just work on that. This is on the BH blend brush. Okay, so the next one, the next story is probably going to be a trigger warning. So if things of like domestic violence or anything like that upsets you, I would definitely 100% close out of this portion of the video. But I think it's sometimes important to be mindful of these situations, and I will leave some links down below if you are the victim of domestic violence or domestic assault and you need some resources. I will definitely leave some linked down below. So I was in college. This was my first year. This was my freshman year of college, and I had not seriously been dating anybody for like a very long time, for like years. Honestly, I didn't really care that much to want to date. But when I was about ready to graduate high school, I was working as a waitress in a restaurant, like a little family-owned restaurant. And this family had just bought a home in the town that I was working in. And they had come into my restaurant to celebrate. And they invited me to church. And at this time, I was living in a group home, so I couldn't like really just go anywhere and everywhere. So I kind of used, at the time, church as a way to be able to go out and do something and, you know, be able to like intermingle with other people. And so I started going with them to church on Sundays, and eventually there was like 3 sons, a mom and a dad that I grew really close with. I really enjoyed their company. And then one time a kid came with them, and I guess this kid was staying with them. I don't know why I'm calling him a kid, because like they were my age, but anyways, was coming to stay with them. Apparently, I'm not really for sure I can't really remember the whole details. Like he came from a different state, a completely totally different state, to come stay with his mom, and his mom basically was just like, see ya, adios. And anyways, so somehow he ended up there, and so we were just like chit-chatting and talking, and we had like a really good time. We had really good vibes. All right, I'm gonna now go into the shade right here called Pucker Up. And we had got to talking, and basically when I graduated and went off to college, they were going back to the state that they had come from to go live with another family member. So it was like, okay, not a big deal, right? No problem, no issue. So eventually, like, we exchanged numbers and we were talking, and we got it so this person could like come and stay where I was. So they moved back to the state that I was in and moved to the town that I was in, because I was in a different town than originally to go to college. And so he was staying at different places, you know, until he could find a job, get on their feet, and he would sometimes come and stay at my dorm room and just things like that. And at first, as I'm sure a lot of people in domestic violence situations know, at first, everything was great. Everything was glorious. However, things did not end up that way. So, after a while, there was a lot of abusive situations going on in that relationship. And, of course, over time, things escalated. Well, the freshman year of my college, when Valentine's Day came, my church group, we went to like this on-campus church. There was one giant on-campus church, and they divided up into like little like small groups is what they would call it. And so depending on what dorm you were in, you would have like a group, like you would all hang out. And then if you weren't on campus, you would just kind of be lumped into a group that you could go like hang out with, and like you did stuff together, and it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, that was tons of fun. So one time they had a really good idea where the guys would make the girls dinners. And so we went to this giant like, it was like a frat house. It was a Christian frat house is actually what it was. And that's where they like put this on. And so the guys like dressed up nicely, and they started making us girls like a really nice, elegant meal. Like, it was so good. And then us girls would show up, and like we would just be pampered for Valentine's Day, and we were all just like dressed up really super nice. It was so fun, right? I still don't know what I did wrong, but you know, it was like a really good night. We were all laughing and making jokes, and then we started playing like games. Like, we started playing Telephone Pictionary. If you've never played that game, first of all, tons of fun. Such a fun game. And then we played like Fishbowl, and like we just played like tons and tons and tons of fun games. We watched we watched a movie, and like it was just like tons of fun. We basically just like stayed up till way too late in the morning for this to even like, it was just like super super late. And so it was like tons of fun. We were all laughing, we were all joking, we were all having a good time. At least I thought it was a good time. So then like, it was like, I want to say it was pretty late into the early morning hours. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 a.m. that, I mean, people left at like different times, but I think me and my partner left at like, I don't know, 2, 3 a.m. Like, we left around then, and we were gonna go back to my dorm because that was really close by. I'm now gonna NYX glitter prime my eyes. I love doing this for any shimmer I'm gonna put on. So we were on the way home, and he was like super quiet, and so then that's when I was like, oh no, something is about ready to happen. And so of course I just tried to play like everything was fine, like we're doing great. All right, I'm gonna go into the shade right here called I Love You and put this on like the center to outer portion of my eye. And so we were just walking back, and I was like, oh, you know, that was tons of fun. I really liked the game Telephone Pictionary. I was like, what'd you think of the movie? And, you know, he was just being very, just like, very, very silent, not saying much of anything. And so I was like, you know, just trying to like keep the peace and like talking like or whatever. And as we were getting closer to my dorm, he was like, how could you embarrass me? And I was like, oh, what do you mean? I'm not gonna go into the shade Cupid. I was like, oh, what do you mean? Like, I thought, you know, we had a really good time. Apparently I was getting too nice and comfortable with the other guys. I was laughing too much. I you know, was just I was basically being a whore, basically. And I did not really know how to respond, just because in those situations you don't want to say the wrong thing. However, of course, then he was like, oh, well, see, you're not responding, so obviously you know that what you did was wrong. And I was like, well, I was like, oh, we were just having a good time. We were just, you know, having a good time. I thought you were enjoying yourself. I thought everybody else was enjoying themselves. I had a really good time. And he's like, well, I bet you did have a really good time. And now I'm going to go into that black shade called My Person. I'm going to smoke that on like the lash line. And I was like, yeah, I thought you had a good time as well. Did you not? And finally we got like back to my dorm room, and I was on the 2nd floor of the stairs. And so he was like, well, let's take the elevator, or let's take the stairs instead of the elevator. And I was like, okay, sure. Let's go ahead, let's do that. And as we were walking up the stairs, we had finished the first flight of stairs, and like the first flight is like 8 stairs, and then you turn and you go up 8 stairs, and then it brings you to like the 2nd floor. And so we had finally made it to the first, the 2nd floor, and he like put his arm across and like stopped me from like getting all the way to the top. So I was still like kind of standing on like one foot was on the top step and the other one was like on the landing. And he just like stopped me, and he was, I don't know, you could tell that he was just really angry and upset. And that is when he shoved me down the stairs. Completely and totally just shoved me 100% down the stairs. So, and then as I was like laying at the bottom of the stairs, like obviously this was late at night, so not a lot of people were gonna be out and about or like hear anything. He came down, and like my keys to my dorm room were like on a lanyard, and it had like, my ID, so I could like buzz into the building, and then my key. And he just like came down, took my key, and he said, well, whenever you finally get it together, I'll be in your room. And then just left me there. So found out a couple days later that he had actually broken my ribs. He had broken one of my ribs. So I just do not care for Valentine's Day. I feel like most of my Valentine's experiences haven't really been good experiences. I wish that they were great experiences. They just aren't. Alright, so I'm going to go do the rest of my face off of camera, and then we can just come back and do the lower lash line together, and then we can finish up the video and move on. So I will be right back. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's finish off the lower lash line. I'm only going to do one thing. I'm just going to smoke out my whole lower lash line with my Persons, which is the black shade. And we are just going to start smoking that. All around. This is definitely very anti-Valentine's Day. But I definitely just don't enjoy Valentine's Day anymore. The only 2 experiences that I had, obviously, were not good ones. And, you know, I met my husband. He's very frugal, so he doesn't really care for Valentine's Day either, just because he does not care to spend any money extra where he doesn't have to. I don't know how he married me, but then we're going to go into the lightest shade Smooch and put that on the inner corner. So, yeah, I just don't care for Valentine's Day. Definitely not a Valentine's Day girl. You will probably never ever catch me celebrating it. I have zero desire to. But let me know what you guys think of Valentine's Day. Are you guys Valentine's Day people? Are you not? What's your thoughts and opinions on Valentine's Day? Let me know all of that. That is it for today's look. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead. Let's go over my thoughts on the Sydney Grace Be Mine palette. Again, Sydney Grace is a fantastic indie brand. If you guys have not checked them out, absolutely do. Their mattes are so rich and pigmented. Their shimmers are extraordinary. One thing I really like about Sydney Grace that they do with their palettes is that they always have like a light and a deep option. I, of course, always get the light option, but there is a deep option for those with darker skin tones. So I do like how the light option can fit anybody from like a really fair to about a medium, and then from medium on, there's a deep option. So I really do love that. They're a great indie brand. Again, the quality is just there. I think this was like a $55 palette, $59 palette. You get 15 shades. I think that's totally fair. Especially for the quality and how good this is. Like, this was just like very little effort. Like, it just like went on so easily, so beautifully. The shimmers and the mattes are really buttery and creamy. Whenever you're doing the swatches, you can just feel just how buttery and smooth they are. They apply beautifully, pigmented, blend out well, work well together, doesn't become muddied, looks really good. You can create tons of really cool, fun looks with this palette. You've got some like deep options, you've got some like light options. There's something in here for everyone. I think this is overall a fantastic palette, so definitely go and check that out. That is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I apologize for the trigger warning, but I do think that this is an important subject to talk about. I will leave links down below, resources if you are experiencing some emotional abuse, physical abuse, whatever kind of domestic violence you are facing. I will leave links down below to help you out with that. If this is your first time here, then definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you join this dumpster fire family. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up. This lets me know that you enjoy. This lets YouTube know. Don't forget to go check out all the ladies that I collabed with. Go say hi to all of them from me. But that is it, and I will see you all in my next one.